On January 1st, 2023, while you were nursing your New Year's hangover, Brian Walshe was Googling something very specific: how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body. Can you be charged with murder without a body? How long before a body starts to smell? 3 days later, he walked into a police station and reported his wife, Ana, missing. He told them she'd left for a work trip to Washington, D.C. He seemed concerned, cooperative, a worried husband. But Ana never went to Washington. She never left Massachusetts. And Brian knew exactly where she was because he put her there. This is the story of how a man's Google search history became his confession, and how 10 trash bags full of evidence revealed one of the most disturbing family murders in recent history. Ana Walshe seemed to have it all. A 39-year-old real estate executive who worked for a high-end property firm in D.C., she split her time between Washington and the family home in Cohasset, Massachusetts, a wealthy coastal town just south of Boston. She was married to Brian Walshe, and together they had 3 young sons, all under 7 years old. From the outside, they looked like the perfect family. Beautiful home, successful careers, happy kids. But behind closed doors, the marriage was crumbling. Ana had been confiding in friends that she was planning to divorce Brian. She'd even hired a divorce attorney. The reason? Brian had a criminal past that was catching up with him. He'd been convicted of fraud for selling fake Andy Warhol paintings and owed over $200,000 in restitution. He was on house arrest, wearing an ankle monitor. Ana was the breadwinner. She was supporting the family, and she was getting tired of it. New Year's Day 2023 was supposed to be a fresh start. Ana had just returned from spending the holidays with her family. She was planning to go back to D.C. for work on January 2nd. She sent text messages to friends about her plans. She was organizing a dinner party. And then, she vanished. On January 4th, Brian Walshe walked into the Cohasset Police Department. He was concerned, he said. His wife Ana hadn't been heard from in days. She was supposed to fly to D.C. on January 2nd, but her employer said she never showed up. Her phone was off. Her friends hadn't heard from her. Police began investigating. They checked with rideshare companies. Did Ana take an Uber to the airport? They checked with airlines. Did she board a flight? They pinged her cell phone. They contacted her credit card companies. Nothing. Ana Walshe had completely disappeared. But here's what made police suspicious almost immediately. Brian's story kept changing. First, he said Ana left early on January 2nd to catch a flight. Then he said she left on January 1st. Then he couldn't remember exactly what time. He said she took an Uber, but there was no Uber. He said she was going to D.C., but her employer confirmed no trip was scheduled. And then there was the ankle monitor. Brian was on house arrest. He wasn't supposed to leave his home except for specific, pre-approved reasons. But GPS data from his monitor showed he'd made several trips on January 2nd and 3 hours right after Ana supposedly left. Where did he go? Police decided to find out. On January 8th, police obtained a search warrant for Brian's phone and computer. What they found was absolutely damning. Here are the actual Google searches Brian made between January 1st and January 2nd. 12:45 a.m. January 1st. How long before a body starts to smell? How to stop a body from decomposing? 1:10 a.m. How to bound a body? 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. 1:34 a.m. How long for someone to be missing to inherit? Can you throw away body parts? 4:55 a.m. How to clean blood from a wooden floor? Luminol to detect blood. 9:44 a.m. January 2nd. Hacksaw best tool to dismember. Can you be charged with murder without a body? And these weren't random curiosity searches. Brian was methodically researching how to murder his wife, dispose of her body, and get away with it. But here is the thing about murder in 2023. You can't just Google your way out of it. Because investigators found something even more damning than the searches. They found the body parts. Following Brian's GPS movements from his ankle monitor, police tracked him to several locations on January 2nd and 3rd. One of those locations was a dumpster at his mother's apartment complex. Another was a Home Depot. Another was a different apartment complex dumpster. Police obtained surveillance footage from these locations. The videos showed Brian throwing away heavy trash bags, over and over. Multiple trips, multiple dumpsters. The trash had already been collected and taken to a transfer station. So investigators did something extraordinary. They went to the station and sorted through tons of garbage bag by bag, looking for evidence. And they found it. In multiple trash bags, police discovered a hacksaw blood-stained rugs on his COVID-19 vaccination card ripped up. Cleaning supplies soaked in blood, items with human biological material, Brian's son's pants with blood on them, hunter boots matching ones on own with blood, but the most disturbing discovery: they found a knife and part of a human skull. The DNA matched Ana Walshe. On January 17, 2023, Brian Walshe was arrested and charged with murder, misleading investigators, and improper transport of human remains. He pleaded not guilty, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. The Google searches, the GPS data, the physical evidence, the lies, the motive: he was about to lose everything in a divorce. Ana's body has never been fully recovered, but prosecutors believe Brian murdered her in their home on New Year's Day, dismembered her body, and disposed of the remains in various dumpsters across multiple towns. His 3 sons, all under 7, are now being raised by Ana's family. The trial is ongoing, but what makes this case particularly chilling is how premeditated it was. Brian didn't kill Ana in a moment of rage. He planned it. He researched it. He Googled step-by-step instructions like he was following a recipe. And he almost got away with it, except for the ankle monitor he was wearing for his previous crime. The Ana Walshe case is a reminder that in the digital age, your phone knows everything. Your searches, your location, your lies. Brian Walshe thought he was smart enough to commit the perfect murder. But every Google search was a digital confession. Every GPS ping was a trail of evidence. Every lie to police made the case stronger. Ana deserved better. Her sons deserved better. And somewhere in those trash bags, scattered across Massachusetts, a mother's remains were treated like garbage by the man who promised to love her. Justice for Ana Walshe is still unfolding. But one thing is certain: Brian's own phone sealed his fate.